Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Camille. This is your host. I am your hostess, Camille, and I have a wonderful special guest. Huh? I have a wonderful special guest today, Juan Punchy Gonzalez. Okay, and so with an impressive career that spans across 5 continents, Juan has done it all: live sound engineering, touring production management, video making, excuse me, music producing, and even playing his own tunes. But that's not all. Juan's also got a reputation as a sex symbol, bringing a blend of humor, excitement, and a dash of frivolity to everything he does. In this episode, we're going to dive into his multifaceted world of music through Juan's unique lens. He's a big advocate for the idea that education and skill are the keys to success and happiness, and he's here to share that real world perspective with us. Whether you're looking to break into the music business or just love a good story, Juan's got you covered. Oh, and did I mention that he's a huge science fiction nerd? That's right. Juan's passion for sci-fi is almost as big as his love for music. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a conversation that's as enlightening as it is entertaining. Okay. Oh, also, you can check out more about Juan at cosmicpunch.com, and let's get this chat started. Okay. So the first question for you, Juan, is, can you please share a memorable experience from your time as a touring production manager that highlights the challenges and rewards of the job?
Okay, so first off, I want to thank you, Miss Camille, for having me on
You're
and
welcome.
for
My
the
pleasure.
fantastic intro. I mean, it's almost like I wrote it myself.
I'm
Just
glad
kidding.
you like it.
And and I wanted to touch quickly on the sex symbol thing because I know that most of your audiences they don't get it, they don't understand. But um, I did it obviously as a joke in my bio for
Yes.
fun, because now it forces people to talk about it.
Right.
And and it's
This
just
is a G-rated show. This is a G-rated
well, I didn't say
PG.
anything naughty, you know.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I mean, in other words, I'm putting myself up there with like Taylor Swift,
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
on that
Yes.
level, because at least
Got it.
in this era where we're all supposed to be talking about everything, I might as well just go ahead and go for that one too. You know
Okay.
what
Excellent.
I mean? Why not? You know.
Yes. Wonderful.
All
Wonderful.
right. So getting back to your question, what your challenges in doing in doing what again? Which job?
Just your production manager, the
Okay.
highlights and the
Well,
challenges and rewards of the job.
the cool thing about being a production manager obviously is being able to put together a show, even if you're not the one creating it. Like in other words, the show is already pre-designed for you, and you're just like, look, you're just supposed to make this happen. Just make it happen. And on a day-to-day basis, when you're moving a preset show from one large place to another large place to another large place, and there's a lot of moving parts, um, you know, it's very rewarding when everything turns on and it all just works, and the show happens and nothing falls on anybody, and these are all things that you like to have a blemish-free record as a production manager. I guess the biggest thrill, of course, is just you know seeing it all come together and it all works and everybody and the audience is happy. And if the audience is happy, they come back. If you're working for an artist, they're happy, their audience is happy. It's a big symbiotic relationship. All jobs are in this industry. If one thing is not right, it's the one thing everybody notices.
Sure.
So
Yes.
yeah.
And then, what are the key differences between live sound engineering and studio production, and how do you
What
adapt your approach to each?
Okay, so live sound engineering, the best part about it, at least before the advent of mobile phones, um, is that your work comes in and out of people's ears immediately. right? So if there's a little mistake on stage, or something's changing, or there's some problems or whatever, a microphone's got an issue, most people will forget that aspect of the show unless it was debilitating to the show, and then people remember it, right? But unless it's recorded, um you're never gonna your memory is gonna fade on it. Like, we've all seen really great shows, and then it's superseded or it's overshadowed by all the things that went great, right? But on a recording, all of your mistakes get to be played over and over and over and over again. All of your great moments get to be played over and over and over and over and over again. So you tend to really polish what you're doing, because you have the opportunity to polish what you're doing as far as making recordings for either yourself or for other people as for employment. So, but live sound, obviously, it's more excitement. It's about the feeling in the room. You make the room go boom, 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 and all these kind of things. And you can't do that on a record because not everybody's speakers are the same. Not all the rooms are going to hear it on the same. You have to adapt for headphones, and it's all got to be the same recording. So there's definitely a delicate balance of science, as well as the balance of the music and the feel for the vibe in the room. If that makes sense. That's
It
that.
does. Yes.
You know.
Yes, it
It's like
does.
you're painting for a different audience.
Got it.
You can
Yeah.
paint for the artistic people, right? The people that have the chance to sit there and get it. Or you can paint the mural where everybody recognizes everybody in the mural.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have your art, and then you have your martial art. So live sound would be kind of like martial art, chop the wood, the science has to work in the room, that kind of thing. Whereas recordings are more like art. They're meant to be appreciated for what they are, testaments, you know.
Yes.
Is
Excellent.
that a
Excellent.
long-winded? Is that a nice long-winded answer for your question?
Huh? No,
Long-
it's no, it was really good. It's excellent. No problem. I love interviewing you, and I'm paying attention to your
Are you patting
answers,
me on the head
and
right
you're
now?
here for the audience, to educate them. So this is magnificent. So
Okay.
how do you keep up with the evolving technology in music, or in the music industry, excuse me? And what are some of the latest trends that have caught your attention, if any?
Well, in the studio business, you have to really, really keep on top of a lot of software all the time. And technology is constantly changing, and you just have to kind of adapt to it. Or you can be that guy that uses this old gear, and people come to you for your old gear and whatever, that kind of thing. But eventually that kind of stuff fades. So if you want to try to keep this as a business, or at least a form of income, then you got to stay on top of it. People want the newest sounds, they want the newest techniques, they want, they read too, they have the internet too,
Mhm.
so they know what's up. Now the trend of course is the ability for AI to make music based on prompts. you know that that is one of those things where the industry is going to have to kind of go, okay, you're going to have to slap a label that this was created by AI. you know you're going to have to at some point, uh
Yeah.
only because it would almost seem unfair for the few companies that do make a lot of money in the music industry to be able to do it from an automated status, right? We've already fired like all the great hand-drawn animators in favor of computers, right?
Mhm.
So cartoons now don't look like cartoons of yesteryear. They Yeah, right. Like if you watch a modern
Yes.
cartoon, I have
Yes.
I have small children, so I've watched a lot of modern cartoons. Okay,
Yes.
and then of course I have my share. I still watch my old cartoons from when I was a kid. So
Yes.
so I mean, I'm trying to get my. I'm so proud of my two children. They love Schoolhouse Rock.
Mm,
Do you
very
remember Schoolhouse
nice.
Rock, Camille? Do you remember
Yeah, I
this? You remember
do.
this?
I do.
Conjunction, junction. What's your function? I got you. All right, all right. So anyway, anyway, but if you look at the animation quality on that, that's all hand drawn stuff. I mean, of course,
Hmm.
the Spidey and his amazing friends looks amazing in comparison. Santiago the Seas, it looks amazing in comparison. Um, so all those guys that used to do hand drawn, they're gone, right? So CGI took that over. The computers took it over. The rendering farms took it over. Okay,
Hmm.
fine. So now you're going to start eliminating the people that come up with the designs, because you can get a computer. You can just put in a computer, I want a guy with 7 eyes and,
Right.
37 fingers, and I want him to move like a platypus or whatever. You know what I mean? And the thing draws it for you, and you're like, oh my God, So there goes this guy that would painstakingly draw or painstakingly make the 3D models for the animation and all that stuff. All this stuff is going to be automated. So yeah, that's the trend. So I guess the question is that, how do you stay on top of something like that?
Right.
How do actors stay on top of something like that?
Yeah. Well, they had a strike.
Okay, well, that's nice. I mean, I believe in workers' rights. I'm a member of a union myself,
Yes.
but the strike is not ever going, in all fairness, if you prove to a company that they can make material without you because you're on strike, then they're going to make material without you. This happened to the writers.
Right.
If you
Oh,
remember,
okay.
this happened to the writers back in the day. In the early 90s, they all went on strike, yeah? And that was what gave birth to the reality TV show. You don't need a writer. You just put a
Oh,
bunch of morons in a room, turn the lights on, tell this one that this one's sleeping with this one, and let them go.
yes.
And you shoot and shoot and shoot for 12 hours, and you get 30 minutes out of it.
Yeah.
Boom. No royalties paid, no nothing.
Wow. Yeah.
So, proving to somebody that you're not valuable, that's not necessarily a good idea.
Mm.
Um, Especially at the end of the day, when profit margins are going to be profit margins no matter what. And there's no such thing as a safe haven country, because this is something that's going to go all over the planet. AI isn't going to be limited to just Los Angeles and New York. Right? It's
Right.
not. So
Yeah.
I mean, like get ready. Like in China, I'm sure they're already making these entire AI movies, 100% with voice talent AI, music AI, art AI, animation AI, and it's gonna look real, and we're gonna be like, what?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes. Yes. I hear you. Sorry about that.
So that's a trend. On
Yes.
a light note, you know.
Yes. And so that's true. AI is a trend. I agree. It's gonna go global. I get it. Yeah. So
Yeah. So what?
as a musician yourself, how does your experience on stage influence your work behind the scenes?
Okay. So I grew up as a child actor,
Oh, okay.
right? So I started as a child actor, and then at age 12, I decided I wanted to get into production. So and I was lucky because my family ran my dad started a theater company in Tampa. I'm from Tampa, a theater company in Tampa. That's to this, like he started in the 50s. It still runs today. He retired from it 20 odd years ago, and but he did run the theater company for 50 years. So of those years, I grew up, right? Yeah. So I grew up as a child in the theater. I went to rehearsals. This is this is how I learned about unions. This is I've my but being age 12 and stage managing a union production of a musical, local musical, that kind of thing. But it was because I was at all the rehearsals, so I got into the production end of it, and then I just kind of graduated into doing rock and roll, and then I just went on tour. I was on my first world tour at age 21. I did a lot of regional touring in my late teens and early 20s, but that was because I knew I wanted to do it. So by the time I turned 18, I was able to get into clubs, started working for a bunch of local rock bands. So yeah, I know I'm
Yeah.
rambling at this point, and I kind of forgot what the original question was.
That's okay.
But how does it influence me? Okay, so obviously I
Yes.
came from a performance end, and then of course I always wanted to be a rock star. Doesn't everybody? I mean, I'm already a sex symbol. What's next? The next thing would be a rock star, right? And I
Yes.
had bands and stuff in my 20s, and I did have a band that did tour in Europe and toured in South America, North America. We had records out and all that stuff. It was fun. Um, and then but I never stopped working for bands as an audio engineer, as a tour manager, working in the studio with them. I never stopped doing that, because everything equals something. and there's this, it's the music business. Yeah. So it's not, so you want to make money. If there's any money to be made, you want to make it. So why am I going to pay an engineer to engineer my records when I can engineer my own records? And if I'm engineering my own records, I might as well engineer this other guy's record too. And I might as well, what's the problem? If it's there, take it, and do it. Um, there's, like I said, it goes back to, there's art and martial art. You can chop wood, and then there's an artistic way of chopping wood, I guess, but sometimes you just have to make the money. So it all bleeds into everything. So when I haven't performed live in quite some time, I don't have a band anymore. And it's hard to put together bands when you're grown up, it's easy to put together a band. Well, I've had a bunch of money. I could get a band together like that. I had a bunch of money. I mean, because money talks, and what walks, right? So yeah. Everything's intertwined. If you're a musician or an artist or something like that, and you don't know anything about the craft on how it gets done, then you're missing out. If you only know the craft on how it gets done, but you've never tried the art end of it, then you're missing out.
Yes.
At least that's how I feel.
Yes, I hear you. And I want to go ahead and thank you for being here. This actually ends our interview.
Was this something I said?
Not at all. Not at all.
Good Lord. What did I do?
Nothing. I just really wanted to introduce you to the audience, and I really loved your bio, and I appreciate you being here so very much. And I don't tend to hold my guests forever because we all have lives and things to get back to. And but again, I want to thank you for being here on Coffee Chat with Camille. And did you have any plugins or anything?
Yeah.
That you wanted
So I'm a big, obviously, I have this musical project that I have, right, that I'm plugging right now. I do this genre of music called nerd rock. Okay. I only sing about science fiction and pop culture and silly things, right? Because I think there's enough nonsense in the world. Why not add a little bit more? And what's one more, right? At least I'm not singing about loving you and all the world is going to end tomorrow and check out my cars. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like we already got plenty of those songs. How about a song about Star Trek? Right?
Oh,
So how about a song about anime? You know what I mean? Let's think about anime, is how cool anime is.
Anime
like
cool,
that. All right, right. So I decided to put this project together. It's called Cosmic Punch. So go to cosmicpunch.com, normal spelling, no weird anything. Cosmicpunch.com, and from there you can watch more of me, music videos that I've created. And of course, all of the records, the links are there for all the major platforms, Spotify, YouTube, all that nonsense is all there. My socials are there. So it's a launching pad. It's Web 1.0 for all of you young kids out there. You buy the .com. It's like owning a flag on the moon. Okay, because no one can take it. That's the thing. Owning a .com. This is great advice to anybody that's getting in. Buy your .com. Buy it.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your own server, just like Hillary. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's great when your email isn't some nonsensical Yahoo account. It's like, for instance, Camille, well, you get it. Own the domain.
Yes.
Own the domain.
Own the domain.
Put a flag on the ground. It's yours, And then if for some reason, this is the good thing, right? And I'll leave this little story with you. Okay. And then I'll get off, I promise. There was this guy named Adam Curry. Do you know who Adam Curry was? Okay, Adam Curry. So. Yeah. Adam Curry was an MTV VJ in the late 80s, right? He had long hair. He looked like a lion. He used to be the host of MTV's Headbangers Ball. It was the heavy metal show that they would run at midnight on Saturday. And this guy he foretold the future. And when .com started to go on the market, he bought MTV.com, MTV2.com, VH1.com, Nickelodeon.com. He bought the entire Nickelodeon family brand names.com. And because he saw the writing on the wall, and he bought in really, really early. And he was then not because of this, but he was then let go by MTV as a VJ. Okay, and he just held on to him like real estate. And then when the .com thing started to blow up in the early 90s, and he had been out of a job at that point, I think he was doing local DJing. When it blew up, he owned all of it.
Wow.
And they came knocking on his door, and he got his severance package. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
So by the .com.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a great story. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so very much. Thank you for a wonderful story, and also for this amazing interview with you. Mr. Juan Punchy Gonzalez is here, folks. And oh, before you go, actually, what is your favorite coffee and or hot beverage?
Well, I am the house barista. So I have a espresso cappuccino machine. Not even a
Yeah.
real nice one. Like one of the
Mhm.
$50 ones from Amazon. But I
Okay.
know how to play it like a fine guitar. I just know how to, and in the morning I make my wife who's Italian, she's an import. My wife who's Italian, I make her, we make cafe con leche basically because I'm Cuban,
Café con leche.
but
Yeah.
but made with Italian coffee beans that you can
Okay.
buy on Amazon, and they're not that expensive. You can buy them
Nice.
on Amazon, and yeah. So it's a mixture of the two.
Oh,
But I make it
excellent.
in an espresso machine, and I steam the milk. It's not a
Yeah.
latte because lattes are weak. This is a little bit different.
Oh,
That's why I say
okay.
it's more like cafe con leche. I don't know.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for that. All right, thank you guys. This has been an outstanding episode. Thank you for joining us today again. And we will see you next time on Coffee Chat with Camille. And also, you can find a copy of this interview, by the way, if you go to coffeechatwithcamille.com, and it will be on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Thank you guys again. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now, everyone.